Well, I think it's time to finally put a bookend on the G4TV attempted revival, as it has now been announced that it's officially shutting down effective immediately. This news broke over the weekend, actually on Sunday, and it was through a leaked memo to Deadline. It was going to be passed around to staff probably Monday morning, but it just got out almost 24 hours early. And today I wanted to take a look at that and just go over some final thoughts for G4. Guys, if you enjoy these videos, make sure you hit that like button, helps out a ton. And if new to the Spawn Wave Plus channel, make sure you subscribe down below. Let's head over here to deadline.com, where they have the memo posted up. It says, as you know, G4 was reintroduced last year to tap into the popularity of gaming. We invested to create the new G4 as an online and TV destination for fans to be entertained, be inspired, and connect with gaming content. Over the past several months, we worked hard to generate that interest in G4, but viewership is low, and the network has not achieved sustainable financial results. This is certainly not what we had hoped for, and as a result, we have made the very difficult decision to discontinue G4's operations effective immediately. I know this is disappointing news, and I'm disappointed too. I want to thank you and everyone on the G4 team for the hard work and commitment to the network. Thank you again for all your hard work for G4. Sincerely, Dave Scott. This had been posted up on Twitter, I saw by Wario64, and apparently a lot of people found out that they were not going to have a job at G4 Monday from Twitter and this memo leaking out. I saw Gerard the Completionist, for example, post below that in a response, and that went mostly viral online. And G4, I feel like it was pretty obvious this was going to be the result or the end destination, as you can see the views that the channels were getting, and you kind of heard about some of the overhead that was involved, especially when that first round of layoffs hit. And we started to hear about hundreds of employees that were involved. So, a lot of them, yes, behind the scenes, and also on-air talent and all these different things. And it was pretty clear they were burning through the runway that they had, the capital that was allotted to them to get started. They were moving through that quickly. And sure, Comcast probably had an idea that it wasn't going to immediately make a bunch of money or anything, but I feel like it was losing money at a faster pace than even they were expecting. There were reports that actually got out there around the time of this memo releasing that some of the on-air personalities that were brought in from places like Twitch and YouTube were commanding rates of $25,000 to $30,000 a day. And I know a lot of people looked at it and said that is astronomical, is ridiculous. And I mean, yeah, you look at it, it's like, wow, $25,000 to $30,000 a day. But G4 paid it. Comcast paid it. It's a very strange thing, at least reportedly, according to some of these reports that got out there anyway. It's the way G4 was trying to come back that it just wasn't going to work out. G4 back in the day, in 2002 and 2003, definitely a product of its time, because now with YouTube, as I went over in a previous video, it's made some of those ideas for shows kind of obsolete. Really, now you look around at YouTube and you get a more natural feeling environment where people are just kind of hanging out talking about games, and you'll more or less gravitate to different podcasts or discussion videos or even really cool retrospectives because you like some of the people that are going back and forth, maybe debating or just kind of covering games in general. Whereas in this case, G4 went out, tried to find personalities they could pay and just sort of push them on set and kind of hope that it all worked out, and it just came off as very unnatural. And I feel like most of the audience sort of was able to notice that pretty early on and kind of just moved on to other things on YouTube because it's very plentiful with the amount of content. And on top of that, they really didn't do much in terms of innovation, and at times I noticed they just didn't really even talk about video games. It was kind of a strange thing that was going on there. But it's unfortunate because obviously a lot of people just, as they effectively immediately lost their job. Like, it's gone. In fact, I took a look at their channels and they haven't posted in days, as you would expect, since it's shut down now and no one's going to work to put up these different videos with streams and all of this. And I know people are going to look towards things as to why it didn't work outside of what I just explained, with personalities becoming adversarial with the audience and really, to me, it just comes down to, even if they pulled it off perfectly when it came to personalities just getting along and not yelling at the audience at times, I just still believe that just in the sea of YouTube right now, where content is all over the place, you're not really dependent on one channel for games any longer. You're able to go wherever you want and kind of get information on all kinds of stuff just at the click of a button. The one thing I would have been curious about is if G4 had come back when E3 was just happening consistently with in-person events, because that was one of the big highlights that I would think back on and remember, was getting coverage from G4 when they were on the ground there at E3, getting interviews all over the place, because then there is a lot of stuff you can tap into that most of us won't be able to necessarily provide. So maybe it would have been a bit easier for them to draw in interest and viewers if E3 had happened, say, in 2002 or 2022, like it did in 2002. But hey, in 2023, it'll be back. I guess they just couldn't quite make it there. But so ends the attempted revival of G4TV. Not really surprising, as I mentioned. It was exciting when it was sort of announced because, of course, the nostalgia hit. Then the nostalgia sort of wore off, and we kind of saw what G4 was, really, in 2022. But let me know what you think about this with G4TV calling it quits on Monday, and how you would have gone about trying to make it work. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you next time.